Okay, and whereabouts were you born?
Jamaica in the West Indies.
Whereabouts in Jamaica?
6 miles out Montego Bay.
Thank you. Okay. When you lived in Jamaica, what do you remember about your family relationships? Did you come from a big family?
It was 3 brothers and I the only girl.
And how was that, being the only girl?
I got 2 sisters died young.
Right.
Yes, very young. So I was the only girl amongst 3 brothers.
Were you the eldest, or?
I was the second child of the 4. Yeah.
Okay, and what do you remember about your childhood? Have you got any early memories?
Yes, I remember going to school.
Yeah.
And love liking to read. And the teachers would say, who want to read, to put your hands up. So I put my hand up and I read to the class. And I love it.
You enjoyed it?
Yes.
Any other memories at all about your family? Or?
I got memory going to school in the morning and walking to school. And when you reach to where the train line passes across the road, they put a notice up, stop, look and listen. That means carefully not to get run over by the train. But it's only one train going past in the morning, and the same going to Kingston, the capital, and the same train return in the evening. But it always said, beware, stop, look and listen. And that stick in my memory because we had to do that when we was young. No one ever get killed or accident because it said stop, look and listen. And we did that.
And did you have a big family?
3 brothers and me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and do you remember memories of your grandparents?
Yes, we was very, very poor, very happy and free. We have a big yard to play, and all the children from the other neighbors, we all play together very happily. We never had television. We had radio. They had radio, and at nights, when we finish play in the day, we wash up and then go in, and the older generation tell us stories about things that happen, and we'd listen to stories and then go to bed. It's darker.
And did you have a religious upbringing?
Yes, there are always church around, perhaps 2 or 3 to choose from very near. We would go to Sunday school and yes.
Okay, and you said you've got memories of education.
Oh,
did
yes.
you have any qualifications at all from school, or do you remember anything about what you did at school?
Yes, we did go. We go to school to the grade where you finish school, and we did pass things, but it's different from these days. Can't remember it now because it's 40 years ago. But I remember Louise Bennett. Sometimes she come to our school. She used to speak poetry or write poetry, and she bring some and read it to us, and colorful, the graphic on these leaflets. And I was fascinated by her poems and the color, and that inspire me today to write few poems,
So you write your own poetry now, do you?
Yes, I tried to, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And did you work while you were there?
Yes.
What did you do?
Well, all nations come on holiday because it's a nice country, sunny country, and it's Montego Bay supposed to be paradise, a paradise. And I used to work as a chambermaid in the large hotels.
Did you enjoy doing that?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Just to check it was on.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And just what year did you come to live here?
1960.
1960.
I remember.
And what made you decide to come and live here?
Well, when I was in my teen, the Queen came to Jamaica just before her coronation. And we were standing up in the queue looking at her, and they says the Queen and England is the mother country. And Well, I was very ambitious when I was young. You know, got lots of things in my mind, lots of wishes. And I always daydream a lot. And the daydream become ambitious. And so when I saw the Queen and everybody said the mother country, and I remember when on that same visit, she was traveling around the parish. I remember vividly our dress, the hat, the handbag, the shoes, what color they was. I remember until this day, I never forget. And I remember when she was traveling around the island, and there was an old teacher man, took off his jacket, put it on the floor for her to walk on as a red carpet, and they arrested him. The whole people would say his foot never touched the ground, and he was arrested. Because those days you couldn't say anything about the Queen because everybody in the island actually have a picture of the Queen on the walls. And the Queen was well respected. They said England was the mother country. That was what they used to say. And so. And then my dad leave for England a few years after.
Did you come before?
No, my dad came, and then we grew up still happy in our own way. And then years after, I used to daydream about him. And he used to send parcels of clothes and money. And that the daydream become more, and I get more ambitious. And eventually, I am today.
Did you come alone or?
Yes, I came alone, came on the plane.
What do you remember about coming here?
Coming here, we stopped at Newfoundland and refuel, petrol. It was in the middle of the night, Canada, and then head for England. And when the plane was coming in, and it's beginning to lower and lower in altitude, I seen these houses with the chimney sticking out, and I said to myself, there's factories, and all the doors and windows shut. And in our country, we haven't got the chimney sticking out like that, and the doors and windows are open. So I thought there was factories, but it's after I realized there were houses. Yeah.
And what were your first impressions when you arrived? Did you come straight to Wolverhampton or?
Yes, we came to, I think it was low level station at that time. Wolverhampton, yes. We came from London, come down on the train.
And is that where your dad was living?
Yes, he was at the train station waiting. When the train crawling in slowly, he was walking, following the coaches and looking, and I was looking out. But I haven't seen him for many years. The vivid memory inside of me didn't remember exactly what he looks like, but I have a view in my mind. Seeing him looking and following the coaches, because it going slow, and I was looking, and then came out, it was him.
And what did you first think when you came to Wolverhampton?
First my teeth began to knock on each other as if I was cold.
Yeah.
As if I was cold, you know what I mean? But, and then took a taxi and went home, which is the same home today.
Yeah, is it?
Not the same house, but
yeah.
Britain.
Yeah. And what was the house like that you first lived in?
It's no different from today. That house is not there now, but it's, you would call it now masonette or townhouse. You got the same house as today, yeah.
And how different was the house that you lived in here to where you lived in Jamaica?
It's improved a little bit more because we have new houses building up everywhere. And as you go along, you one step further ahead in life, you improve as you go along. I think it's with everybody, you know.
And what were your experience of employment when you came to live here?
There was a few jobs. But in my mind, I did want it to be a nurse. But I did want it to be one.
And did you not become a nurse?
I didn't become a nurse, but later on in life, I went to college and passed my basic exam as a nurse. But I didn't work on it because I was working on somewhere else when that happened.
Yeah.
And I did reach to an age where you couldn't leave because it would affect your pension. You know, have to pay into the system, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't leave, but I have passed. At least I've you know.
Passed.
Yeah.
And what sort of jobs did you do in the meantime?
Well, I used to work in factories like the Ever Ready, Park Lane, and then that closed down, and I went to work on the railway.
Did you enjoy those jobs?
Oh yes, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, because you're able to travel
Yeah.
Europe and places.
Really?
Yes, it was wonderful. Even though we have to work nights, out in the frost, fog, snow, everything fall on you. Out there in the open space, the wind blow through you, choppy winds. But I was working for my living, and then, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
for future life. So I was determined to make something of my life.
Yeah.
God, that was one of the reasons why I travel,
Yeah.
to make something of your life.
And how long have you been at the education college?
You mean since I finished with the working?
Yeah.
From 94 till last year, July.
Yeah.
So that would be 6 years.
You say you're doing poetry and
Computer and...
are you enjoying doing that? Yeah.
Oh yes, it's
Yeah.
beautiful, I like it. Still doing it now,
You are.
a little bit, yeah.
You mentioned when you lived in Jamaica about going to churches. Are you still able to do that while you live in here?
Yes, yes.
Is that still a big
Yes,
part of your life?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Have you got children yourself?
yes.
You have. How many children have you got?
In this country, 4.
4. And
2 daughters, 2 sons.
Have you got any other children?
In the West? Yes.
Yeah. And where do they live at the moment?
1 in America and 2 in the West Indies.
Yeah. So it's quite a large family. And how have you felt about bringing them up in this country?
It was very hard.
Yeah.
Working full time and having children. It was very hard. But it was a challenge. But I did it. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Before one of them is a year old, leave them at childminder. And then when they reach the age for school, it was very hard because I got to work full time, because in those days life was very hard. You know, very, very hard it was. But
And what do you do in your spare time? Do you spend it with family or?
you mean now?
Yeah. Or since you've come to live here, what have you done, sort of leisure activities in your spare time?
Education, in the education field.
Yeah.
Yeah, my spare time I spend it in the education
Yeah.
field.
Okay. And have you had any experiences of racism since you've lived in Wolverhampton?
I think everybody had a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody, not just me. I think perhaps you yourself might have a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is
everybody had it.
Is that now or is that when you first came?
When I first came, and even now, but that doesn't stop me doing what I want to achieve. You try to live past that.
Yeah.
But yes, I've seen it, but I doesn't make it be, bother me.
Get in your way?
No, I live past it. Yeah.
And then one of the points here is about achievement. So you said you've achieved a lot since you've been here with you doing your education, with your poetry. Do you feel you've achieved everything you wanted to do?
Not everything, but I have achieved a lot.
Good. And what changes have you seen in Wolverhampton since you've lived here?
What do you mean? You mean from those days?
Yeah.
Those days, when we came here, you could hardly find a place to live. You could only get a room to rent. And mostly those days it was from Indian. And a small room would be up £1.50. And the larger room, which we would call now double, £2.50 in those days. And lots of people didn't want children because they feel the children would rip their wallpaper or things, and you would be at home all day using gas or electricity. They prefer people who go to work, come back in the evening, and like that. And the condition was bad because we used to have outdoor toilets, a coal house, cold water in the winter, perhaps coal fire at the weekend, perhaps, those days. And so it was harder. Paraffin we have to use for eating.
So it's very different to what
Yes,
it
it's
is
very
now.
different from
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. How do you think your life would have been different had you had stopped in Jamaica? Do you think you would have been able to achieve as much as you have done here, or?
You can't speak about something that you don't really know. But the only thing I can say, there wasn't many jobs there at the time, as in England. So there was job here, and I was willing and wanting to work, and got the driving force in me to work, to make something of my life. I would do the same there if there were jobs available. But at that time, there wasn't many jobs. And then I did set my mind from an early age to travel, because my dad was overseas. So, you see, that was it.
And have you been back since? Or
Oh yes, I have been back
Do you go
since.
back often?
Well, 3 times since.
Yeah. And has that changed a lot since you've...
Yes, it has.
Better?
Yes and no. Yes, it has been improved. Yes. There are still poor people everywhere in the world, but there is improvement, yes.
Good. That's fine. Is there anything else that you want to comment about your life in Wolverhampton?
What can I say? What can I say now? Let's see. You can ask more if you want.
So we just wanted to sort of find out information about your education, employment and housing. Do you enjoy living in Wolverhampton?
Yes.
Have you lived in any other towns in England or just in Wolverhampton?
For a short period, I was in another area.
Yeah.
Yes, but mostly spent in Wolverhampton. Yes.
And do you enjoy it here?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
It's all right.
That's it then. That's lovely. Anything you want to say? Kate?
You want to ask any?
When you retire, are you planning to go back?
Oh, good question. $64 question. Right. If I had the money, I would. But at the moment, I haven't got the money.
No, you miss it? No, you miss...
I think everybody miss where he was born. Because you got ties there, your family. And I've written little bits and pieces about where I come from and what life was like as well. The way I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got them in my bag.
Interesting. So your mom, is she still alive?
No, she's died years ago. Years and years ago.
So you have no family living?
Oh yes, my dad and I got my dad is there and my brothers and other relatives is there.
Okay. So
My
the only
son
family-
and a son and a daughter is still there.
Oh, so the only family you have here are the kids that were born in this country?
Yes, and a brother is here and perhaps a cousin or two.
Okay.
But that doesn't bother me. No, it don't.
No?
No. I just get on with life. Yes. This poem is called Me. When I came over to this country, I hadn't got much. Ambition I have, driving me, strength in me, hope in me, dreams I have. I was free as a bird. I was bright as light. I was young. I was fresh. I I know more of country when I came here, but I have spirit in me. I make a place for me here in this country. This poem is called Living. Good upbringing inherited from my strong parents. I was young, the world was free to me. My life was full of memories, with ambition flowing in my mind. Throughout the years, my experience of living in a foreign country, without my parents around me, I had to grow up fast and learn to adapt to the life around me quickly. This poem is called Youth. I just want to go back to where I was born, to relive my youth, and to feel the contrast like going back in time, to enjoy the hot sun again, like old time, just to relax and be myself, and seeing the view again, and perhaps be a child again, all over again, and be happy with new surrounding.